Okay, well, here we have a farmer who has 2,000 yards of fencing to enclose a rectangular pasture. So let's draw this pasture. Okay, there's our pasture, and this is X and Y. And let's see. It says, what will the perimeter of the pasture be? Well, he's got 2,000 yards of fencing, and if he's going to go clear around this pasture, then the perimeter is going to equal 2,000 yards. Now, it says B. By the way, I can put another Y here and an X there. So the perimeter equals 2x plus 2y, and it asks us to solve for y. Okay, so 2y then equals, and subtracting 2x from both sides, p minus 2x. And now if we divide both sides by 2, we'll have y equals p minus 2x over 2. But p equals 2,000, so y equals 2,000 minus 2x over 2. And if we factor 2 out of each term, there we get 2 times 1,000 minus x, all divided by 2, so the 2's divide out, and we get y equals 1,000 minus x. So that's this distance from here to here. There's our x. And then it says, express the area as a function of x, where x is the length of the rectangle. Okay, so area, as you well know, as a function of xy, it's just length times width. And that equals xy, length times width. But now, in order to write this area as a function of x, we'll replace y with this identity here. And so we have x times 1,000 minus x. And notice the only variable existing on the right here is x, so we've written the area as a function of x. Now, if we graph this equation, by the way, this is another way to write this is a of x equals 1,000 multiplying through by x, 1,000x minus x squared. And now if we graph this function, clearly it's going to be a parabola that opens down because the coefficient on x squared is negative. And it has zeros at what value of x will take this to 0? Well, 0 will for one, and 1,000 will for another. So this is x, and this is a of x. And the vertex always occurs halfway between the, for a parabola opening down or up, the vertex always occurs between the two x-intercepts. So what's halfway between 0 and 1,000? Well, 500. And so that's the value of x, which will give this the largest area. Well, to review what we've found so far, we have a perimeter of 2,000 yards. Y equals 1,000 minus x. The area as a function of x is x times y, which is x times 1,000 minus x, that quantity. Or if you were to distribute the x, you get 1,000x minus x squared. And the minus x squared tells us this opens down, this parabola opens down. The largest area is going to be achieved when x is 500. And we can determine that in one of two ways. We can look at the graph, or if we were to use the identity from the quadratic equation, the first term from the quadratic equation, which x equals minus b over 2a, replacing b with, and b in this case would be 1,000, so minus 1,000. And 2a, well, a is 1, and 2 times, or negative 1, I beg your pardon, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, and we still get the axis of symmetry is at x equals 500, and so that the max occurs at x equals 500. So there we have 500. And the next issue is, well, if it occurs at 500, what is the maximum? Well, that's going to be a evaluated for x equals 500. And we can determine that simply by evaluating a of 500. So a of 500 equals, replacing x with 500. And will you agree also that if we subtract 500 from 1,000, we'll get 500? So if you carry out that multiplication, 5 times 5 is 25, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros to attach to that. So we're talking about 250,000 yards squared. And that's our maximum area.